Whenever my mom made one of her homemade delicious cakes, my oldest sister and I would fight over who would get to lick the spoon after mom was finished frosting the cake. We grew older and sometimes things never seemed to change. Whenever we are at a gathering and they're staring us in the face like the rainbow after a huge rainstorm, located in the center of the table is a beautiful, well-frosted cake with huge roses on the ends and in the center. My sister and I would fight over who would get the first piece of birthday cake. And of course, I, being a gentleman, would let my sister be the first one. I would dread it, watching her eat every single solitary bite. My mouth would water in anticipation, waiting patiently for my time to dive into that delicious, well-frosted birthday cake. Today, I am going to demonstrate how to make the best birthday cake frosting ever. I could sit down and eat an entire bowl of frosting by itself. I don't need the cake, just the frosting. I love it. So today, we have a large bowl, and in our large bowl, I have placed some 10x sugar. To that 10x sugar, you're going to take 1.5 cups of Crisco shortening, which I have right here. Now, you don't have to use Crisco. Some people prefer other types of shortening. But sometimes, if you use other types, it could be a strong lard taste to it. So I like to use Crisco, which gives it a nice flavor, a nice taste. So to my bowl with some confectionery sugar, I'm going to add the shortening. So you add it in just like so, and it could make a mess. Yes, it can make a mess, but it's not fun unless it's messy. Sometimes the messier things are, the better they taste. So to that bowl, we've added that. Now you can use a regular mixer, or I like to use a handheld mixer. So you start out on low is the best. Incorporating some of the Crisco into the powdered sugar. Now to this, I'm going to add a little bit of hot water, which I have right here. You pour the water in just a little bit at a time. Now, the hot water helps to make the frosting more pliable to apply to your cake. So as you're mixing in to this mixture, after it's somewhat incorporated, we'll turn our mixer off. And to this mixture, we're going to add butter flavoring. And you'll need 1 teaspoon of colorless butter flavoring. So we have our measuring devices here. So 1 teaspoon, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla flavoring, butter flavoring. And also we're going to need to add to it vanilla flavoring. Now this gives it a really good taste. So to that, we're going to add actually 2 teaspoons of vanilla flavoring. Now you can use, most people prefer to use the light, but it doesn't matter. It depends on the color of the frosting. Some people like to add food coloring or whatever to it because it's a birthday cake. So to that, we're going to continue to mix the flavoring down in it just like so. And to this, we're going to add the rest of our powdered sugar, which I have right here. Now this can be difficult sometimes when you're by yourself, but you just pour it in like so, mixing it continually, just like that. This makes delicious frosting. This is probably one of my favorite of all frostings there is. I like all types, but this one is my favorite. And then you'll want to add a little bit more of the hot water into the mixture. So that way it keeps it at a nice consistency for when you go to decorate your cake or frosting your cake, or some people like to make big roses, which is my favorite. So you'll do this, mix it around just like so. And to this mixture, we're going to add an 1/8 teaspoon of salt. So some people measure it out. I just like to eyeball it, just put a little bit of salt down in it. Now the salt helps to bring out the sweetness and the flavor. So that's what we'll need that for. So you mix that right in there like that, incorporating the rest of the 10x sugar into the bowl. And there you have it. Homemade birthday cake frosting at its finest. Today I demonstrated how to make the best birthday cake frosting ever. After all these years, my sister and I still fight over the ends of the cake and those large roses. And yes, after all these years, I still let her win. Bon appetit.